I'll be there too. I'll check it. Yeah, I did about 7 hours which is quite long. It doesn't need
Okay, welcome everyone to our first race pictures today, about to kick off. Macquarie to the FC. Number 2 we got Sonny Mitchell. Number 3 we got Alyssa Togo Tarragilli. Caitlin McMahon number 4. Kiera Bansfair is number 7. We got Sheila White number 8. Chelsea Lucas number 9. Indiana Bordino is number 14. Lily Brooks 17. Larissa Ryan is number 24. Holly Vittel is 25 and Morgan Ross is 31. Yeah, substitutes are Emily Later Weston is number 11, Jacinta Johnson number 18, Callum Convery is 21, Belle Hewitt 23, and Elavine Ackland is number 26. Okay, for Adamstown Rosebud FC, we got number 1, Olivia Shannon, Sophia Laurie's number 3, Georgia Bold number 4, Evie Horgan number 6, Sarah Knowles number 9, Lainey McFadden is number 10, Ashley Vedder 14, Mia Cook is 19, Tanya Jones is 23, Mary DeSwing number 35, and Eleanor Hayes 39. Our substitutes are Sophie Cook, Stella Morgan, Bonnie Duval, Minnie Granger, Harper Morgan, and Lila Walker. So yeah, action's about to kick off. We've still got the barbecue going. We've got sausage sandwiches, bacon egg rolls, cold drinks, and the bar's open down there too. So go down and see Jeremy for some beers. It's sponsors day today, Little Bats Academy. Rosebud is proudly sponsoring this. It's the Kickstart Kids International, so you'll see some QR codes around the ground and in the grandstands. Please support it. Big shout out to all our major sponsors today. If you've got nothing on tonight, go to the Nation Hotel after here for a few beers and some food. Action about to kick off. Just remember, we have a 0 abuse by our match officials. Without any referees, we don't have any games. So please adhere to our policies and enjoy the game.
Yeah, I know, I got a brown beard. Chuck them on. I'll give you a thumbs up when you know. You ready? Okay.
Well, hello and welcome to Adamstown Oval, where there's plenty on the line this afternoon as Adamstown Rosebuds host late Macquarie City FC in a crucial clash in the race for finals football. The Rosebuds return to Adamstown Oval for the first time since claiming their first win of the season back in round 8, and Martin Slade's side have certainly found rhythm at the perfect time. For the visitors, late Macquarie, they arrive here with confidence after their own after Kezia White's spectacular late winner against Newcastle Olympic last weekend breathed new life into their campaign. Massive afternoon for both clubs. I'm Harry Scobie, and alongside me is current Newcastle Jets women's captain Cass Davis. Cass, the finals race is heating up. You could probably say the top two are locked in, but where is the game won and lost today?
Yeah, it is heating up, Harry. Obviously you can see first and second are pretty far away from the rest of the pack, but I think it's going to be a competitive end to this season, given that there's a few teams fighting for that third and fourth spot. I think if Wakes can get a win today, they should hopefully secure third place. Adamstown, you can't go past them. They're a competitive team, and playing at their home field, they're going to be putting up a fight today.
Yeah, a huge win for Adamstown last week, 3-0 over Broadmeadow Magic. Let's look at how they line up today. As you can see, the captain, Sophia Laurie, returns to the starting side. Eleanor Hayes and Georgia Hogg at the back, Sarah Knowles at right back. It's a midfield three of Lainey McFadden, Mary Netzwang and Evie Horgan, while up top, Ash Vedder partners alongside Mia Cook and Tanya Jones. While for the visitors, late Macquarie starting off is Morgan Ross in goals. It's a combination at the back of Togo Paragilli and Lily Brooks. Caitlin McMahon and Sonny Mitchell in the full-back positions, while in the midfield three of Kira Bainsfair, Holly Vitnell, and as well as Kezia White, while leading the attack, Chelsea Lucas, Larissa Ryan and Indiana Ordino. So both sides relatively at full strength. So much on the line here at Adamstown Oval. And Cass, I guess it's worth mentioning as well, what two players from either side stand out for you for this one?
Yeah, it's a tough one, Harry. I think it definitely depends on the day, and depending who's willing to step up and fight for this win today. But I think Lakes obviously missing Brooke Summers is a pretty big loss, but I think Togo Paragil at the back is definitely one for me. I think she's had a solid season, and not much gets past her. And for Adamstown, I just think Tanya Jones's fight that she has up front has been really good for Adamstown, and I think Marianne Swang as well has put in some good performances, and I think she could be very dangerous today.
Yeah, she clocked up 10 goals last week for Adamstown. She's a fair way off the leading pack in Renee Pountney and Tara Andrews, but certainly a dangerous player. She'll sit in behind Tanya Jones, as you mentioned, who is with 8 goals this season. Adamstown all set. Their return to Adamstown Oval in what has been a relatively overcast afternoon. A few doubts with a bit of the weather that's come our way this weekend, but so far so good. There hasn't been too many rescheduled matches as we stand, and it'll be Adamstown to get us underway. Back at Adamstown Oval, they secured their first win of the season here back in round 8, 5-3 over the Magic, looking to do so again today. Good to see Martin Slade has a few more members of his coaching staff with him today. The last time I called him, he was the only one doing reserve grade and first grade, so good to see he's being assisted this afternoon. And Tanya Jones will get us underway. A crucial clash, round 16 of the Cardiff Motor Group NPL Women's, Northern New South Wales and Adamstown. Slowly turning a corner in recent weeks up against late Macquarie's side, who are probably in a similar boat, so up and down. For Adamstown though, Cass, played 3 of their last 5 matches at Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility. Does it take time to adjust to playing back on grass rather than artificial?
Yeah, I think it does, especially given the conditions today. The field looks quite slippery, and the artificial is very different, and I think we kind of noticed that at New Lambton as well. You have to play to the conditions, and you have to make sure that you're super careful with the way that you're going to play given the field conditions, and even just cramping I think is a big one as well. When you go back to grass, you find that people towards the end of the game are starting to cramp up, and it's just purely because you haven't been on it.
Yeah, we spoke to Mick Hugo, and I heard him mention that the ground was a little bit slippery. Reserve grade fixture obviously on before. This is now Jones in behind. That's probably going to be the target this afternoon for the Buds, getting Tanya Jones in behind. Come off the bench for the game against Maitland, but marked her return to the starting side with a brace last week in that huge win over Broadmeadow Magic. Such a dangerous striker for the Buds. And they're upping the intensity here early. Here's Cook trying to free the feet. It's a bit cagey to start this one as Lakes try and get it out of harm's way. Played back in. Jones couldn't get under control. And Lake Macquarie struggling to clear their lines early. Here's Cook. Challenge is just flying in from everywhere, Cass, and Tanya Jones has looked to come out worse from where and goes to ground.
Yeah, that doesn't look too good for Tanya. Looks like maybe a knee.
Straight away we saw her clutching at that knee, and she looks to be in quite a bit of discomfort. She's certainly been heavily influential for the Buds this season and will be assessed by the physio team now. Gives Lake Macquarie and both sides a chance to catch their breath after what was a fast start from both sides. Might give us a chance as well to recap yesterday's action. The only Saturday game saw New Lambton. Finally, Maitland's run comes to an end. I didn't think it was going to happen, to be honest, but Lauren Allen back in the competition getting 2 goals. And I know, Cass, you're edging near a return as well.
Yeah, it was a good win yesterday. I think Maitland are obviously a very tough team to play against, and you start to see teams now changing the way that they play because you just can't keep Maitland out. So, yeah, we had a game plan, and yes, it wasn't the prettiest football, but you have to play that way sometimes, and given the last 2 results against Maitland were such big score lines, I think anyone would be pretty silly to go and do the same thing again. So, yeah, you have to change sometimes, and yeah, the girls did very well. They stuck to it, and good to have Loz back. She obviously scored 2 really good goals, and the girls were awesome yesterday, and I think it's a good boost going into finals to get a result against Maitland. For me, I hope that I'm going to be back in the next few weeks. That's the plan, but the Jets is obviously my priority, so I'll just have to wait and see how things keep tracking, and not push it if it isn't right. But I really want to get back out there and play for New Lambton, and kind of get my fitness back up before the A-League season starts again. Yeah,
certainly going to be an interesting back end of the season in the Cardiff Motor Group NPL Women's Northern New South Wales. So much still up for grabs, but you could even see just in general on the pitch yesterday, you had the likes of Sophie Nananovic, Tara Andrews, Lauren Allen, so many quality players for both sides. And New Lambton are now, I believe that gap is within 3 points. But getting back to the action, and Tanya Jones has returned up top. Still looks to be in a little bit of discomfort, but will continue for now, which is great to see. It's now Kezia White going to push it out wide to Mitchell. Laurie now returning to the starting side. Sat on the bench last week and didn't feature in the 3-0 win against Magic. Reliable as ever, the skipper for the Buds. Just have to keep an eye on Jones, how she fares in this first 45. As Adamstown working the ball nicely. Vetter can't get it under control. Just losing her footing at the vital moment. Now a flick on up the other end with Lake Macquarie. Baines Fair delivers, but the offside flag has been raised, and we sense this to be a tight encounter. Only 2 times the two sides have met this season, they've both ended up in 2-1 wins to Lake Macquarie. And I think that just sums up the way these two go at it. Mick Hugo taking charge of Lake Macquarie today, as that's an ambitious effort. And nearly crept in, anxiously waiting to see if that found the back of the net, but a shot early on from Chelsea Lucas. Gives a chance now for Adamstown to work their way out from the back. We know they love shifting the ball and trusting the principles that Martin Slade has drilled into them, as Veta now using her strength well. Nat Swang trying to do likewise. Here's Paragilli. Looking over the top, it's a lovely little ball that might just have a little bit too much speed and runs over the byline for a goal kick. But Cass, you mentioned pre-match the importance of Paragilli and what she adds to this Lake Macquarie side, and as we see Tanya Jones slowly go off the field. So Adamstown will play with 10, but how valuable is she at the back for Mick Hugo's side?
Yeah, extremely valuable. I think even just having a left-footed centre-back is a big positive in any team, and she can play that diagonal ball and, playing it to the likes of Chelsea Lucas and normally Emily Loder-Weston, who is on the bench today. But, yeah, just given her range in her passing, it can really hurt teams.
Now it's in the corner. Caitlin McMahon looking to work her way out. Here is Nat Swang. So tricky with the ball coming to her buds. Her first year in Adamstown colours. Loses her footing. There is a bit of that happening today, but she gets back inside, delivers across. And you would have had your money on Tanya Jones to be lurking. She is off the field for now. Again, Nat Swang showing her quality on the ball. Now it's Lakes up the other end. Pretty end-to-end to start this one. Bainsfair creeping in behind and looking for Ryan. Still alive with Sonny Mitchell. Infield looking for Vitnell. Now it's Eleanor Hayes, who's adapted into that centre-back role. Jenna Doyle leaving the Buds a couple of weeks ago now. She's formed a good partnership alongside Georgia Hogg. As you can see, Tanya Jones still being assessed by the physio. Now Sarah Knowles, Cook. McMahon pushing it out wide. Both teams settling into this contest. And recent form also suggests that they are in pretty similar parts of the season. Last 5 for both teams, 2 wins, 1 draw and 2 losses. So certainly finding life tricky. But like we said, I think apart from those top 2 spots, it's all up for grabs. Sarah Knowles to Hogg, who plays it centrally to Horgan. Can't get it under control. Hear the buzz, and now inviting Kezia White forward, who scored a goal of the year contender last week in the dying stages there at Macquarie Field against Newcastle Olympic. Here is Kezia White infield, and the deflection will fall nicely. There's a chance here for Lake Macquarie to open the scoring, and that they do. And it's Bainsfair who opens it. The offside flag stays down, and Lake Macquarie hit first here in what is such a crucial clash.
Yeah, I think that was a bit unfortunate there for Adamstown. The ball kind of just snuck through, and Kira Bainsfair was there ready to tap it in, and she's also probably a player to watch, Harry. I know when Newhampton played Lakes, she was away, and she was a big loss for them in the midfield, so it's good to see her back, and nice little finish from Kira Bainsfair.
Takes her to 5 goals for the season, the most of any Lake Macquarie player this season. And it just fell nicely to her. Still had a lot to do with the finish up against Olivia Snedden, who has been vital for Adamstown these last few weeks. But it is Lake Macquarie who strike first, and it's Mick Hugo, the happier of the 2 coaches so far. Bainsfair looking for the width. They've worked this nicely have late Macquarie. Chelsea Lucas now down the right, up against the opposite number in Knowles. Sends it across in the final touch. Oh, did come off Chelsea Lucas. Shouts for a corner, but it'll be a goal kick the way of the Buds. So Adamstown heading into last week, conceded first in every single game this season. They managed to overcome that last week and open the scoring against Magic, but it still seems a similar trend in the way that they are conceding first. But in saying, Cass, I don't think they would mind, because they have shown on multiple occasions that they're a 90-minute team.
Yeah, they definitely are. I think the one thing with Adamstown is they consistently play the same football week in, week out. They try and play out from the back. They do play some nice little one-touch football as well. So I think for them, they'll just keep sticking to their game plan, and yeah, hopefully they can try and sneak a goal back. Obviously, being a player down is always hard, and to concede while Tanya Jones was off getting strapping, yeah, they'd be pretty frustrated at that. But it's good to see Tanya back on there and trying to run through that little niggle.
Yeah, seems to be a heavily strapped left knee. Maybe looks below the knee, so I'm not exactly sure what the injury is, but she's slowly getting back to business as Paragelli's pass doesn't find the mark. You sense Tanya Jones and Netswang will be the two players to spark Adamstown back into life if they were to overcome this. The two of them have scored 18 of Adamstown's 24 goals this season. That is 75% of Adamstown goals shared between those two. And here is one of them, Netswang, up against Kezia White. White wins out, bangs fair. Back to McMahon, who's searching over the top, and it finds Lady McFadden. Adamstown now working it forward. Laurie with the overlapping run. Little deflection finds its way to Sophia Laurie. She gets it back on the return pass. Up against the opposite number in Paragelli, and the cross almost hits in off the crossbar and falls into the grateful arms of Morgan Ross. But again, a fullback making overlapping runs just proves so dangerous.
Yeah, Sophia Laurie's known for that, getting up and down the field, and she did really well there to get a cross in at such a tight angle. And an unfortunate little miss there for Adamstown.
It's probably the closest they've come so far this afternoon. And Laurie, again, so full of energy for this Adamstown side. The skipper, who had played up to every minute for the side this year. Until last week, she was benched by Martin Slade, who has been pretty quiet on the touchline to start this one. Their side just struggling to hit their straps. Laurie uses Netswang, who brings it to control nicely. Laurie now, they're just struggling to find that option in behind, and that's a crunching challenge there. Larissa Ryan coming across. And she's been pretty influential for Lake Macquarie as well this season. 4 goals to her name, all those 4 coming in their win against Newcastle Olympic. Just now Adamstown working it forward. The intended pass didn't find the target. Bit of frustration creeping in for Martin Slade. There's McMahon now with runners pouring forward over the top, unable to find the pass. Now Paragelli with options out on the left. Uses Sonny Mitchell. And Ash Vedder again showing great determination to win it back and looking to start a counter-attack. In field, Tanya Jones on the turn. She goes to ground, and that will be a free kick. And he senses this could be in Mary Netswang territory, Cass.
Yeah, I think so. It's a good position for anyone that can hit a nice free kick, and Marianne Swang definitely can. So I think she'll be having a shot with this one.
She scored a similar goal in this sort of territory back in round 8 when they were able to pick up their first win against the Magic. This one, though, shaped perfectly for a right footer. Plenty of options in the box, but I think she might only have her target set on finding the back of Morgan Ross's net. Be net swing to line it up, dinking for the top corner, and great hands from Morgan Ross to deny net swing on that occasion.
Yeah, not a bad hit there by Marianne Swang. She probably just needed a little bit more on it, but like you said, it was a nice save there from Morgan Ross to keep Adamstown out.
Adamstown, though, starting to have a little bit more of the ball, although the offside flag goes up against Cook on the far side. And we talked about the intense start to this one. Well, Baines Fair has found herself worse for around that challenge. Maybe those slippery conditions that we mentioned earlier starting to come into full effect. We've already seen Jones go down. Good to see Baines Fair back to her feet now. And play can get back underway with late Macquarie leading 1-0. Thanks to Kira Baines Fair's early goal, proving the difference so far. Now Larissa Ryan couldn't get out of her feet on the turn. Lakes again pretty aggressive without the ball to start this one. Horgan searching for options. Here's Jones, who still looks to be carrying quite a bit of pain. Now Aldina up against Hayes. Hayes has certainly been impressive since filling the shoes of Jenna Doyle. And now plenty of space opening up for Ryan. Down the left-hand side, up against Laurie. It'll be a good battle to keep an eye on here this afternoon. Laurie wins out this time. Looks for net swing, unable to find her. That's why I'm picking it up on the follow-up. Horgan now. Martin Slade urging numbers to get in behind. Target just hasn't been there early on for Adamstown.
Yeah, I think Tanya Jones obviously struggling with that knee. Adamstown might have to have a little bit of a different approach when trying to hit those longer passes in behind. Maybe connecting to Tanya via her feet might be a little bit easier, given that she is struggling with that knee.
There are a few options on the bench for Adamstown. A few of them coming off the back of the reserve grade clash. Minnie Granger, Stella Morgan, Sophie Cook. If Martin Slade decides to use them. A lot of them so youthful in their career. So not too much experience on that bench. As White picks it off from net swing. Here's Baines Fair looking in behind. Georgia Hogg will let this one roll for a goal kick the way of Adamstown, and a chance for them to utilise their strengths playing out from the back. They've got the return of Ash Vedder this afternoon, which is a huge boost. Didn't feature in the win over Broadmeadow Magic. And you've seen from her aggression early in this one that she can turn a game on its head with her speed. Here's Hayes. Looking in behind for Netswing, goes short to Mary Netswing, whose pass again can't hit the mark, and Adamstown just slowly struggling to grow into this game. There's a positive spark though from Vedder. Jones over the top looking for Ash Vedder, who rides the challenge of a few, and Paragelli coming across to pick it off. Now Sunny Mitchell with plenty of space ahead of her down this left-hand side. Has a run of Ryan in behind. Sunny Mitchell holding play up. Now releasing it to Ordino. Ordino being forced to go forward back to Sunny Mitchell. Mitchell in a battle with Laurie. The two fullbacks going at it. Now eventually cleared out of harm's way, but again Jones seemed to be in quite some discomfort. And net swing going to ground. Referee will continue play. He's better. Net swing still carrying an injury. There's been plenty of those challenges flying in to start this one, Cass.
Yeah, there has been. That's the third person we've seen go down. And there seem to be some unusual injuries. It looks like a shoulder for Marion Swang, but not good to see.
Has been a cagey start, but not good to see a few players going down so early into this contest. Tanya Jones, most notably, the one who looks to still be struggling. And Snedden gets played back underway. A few late Macquarie players just coming over for a drink. We'll have to go across to the other side of the field. Net swing. Lovely ball forward looking for Cook, who's timed to run perfectly. Here's Tanya Jones. Not afraid to shoot from distance. And into the hands of Ross, who's had a relatively comfortable day between the sticks so far.
It's not a bad little play there by Adamstown. You can see, though, when they do get the ball higher up the field, they don't have a whole lot of support. They need to try and get both wingers involved, even maybe two midfielders as well, to try and keep the ball up in late Macquarie's half.
Kezia White now recycling back to McMahon, who will drive forward. McMahon's still going. She's beat the challenges of a few and shooting from distance straight into the hands of Snedden. Don't mind a centre back going on a run like that. So now Adamstown will push it out from the back. Snedden playing in field. Again, the pass has just been a little bit loose for the home side so far. Bainsfair looking for the 1-2. Unable to come off. And now McFadden can drive forward, with Jones seeming to be presenting more at feet, like you mentioned, Cass, rather than going in behind.
Yeah, you can also see Togo Paragili just stepping off the line, dropping a bit deeper, just in case it does go in behind, but Adamstown don't seem to be threatening into those central areas.
Net swing now. Doesn't have too much support down this right-hand side, being forced back to Hayes. And Hayes, under a little bit of pressure, sends it wide. Laurie gets the final touch. Again, I think there were two Adamstown players going for the same ball there. Adamstown first clean sheet last week. And that one nearly running out of play from Sonny Mitchell. I wasn't sure she knew the time that she had. And it's out of play for an Adamstown throw in, just shy of the halfway line. As the light's starting to come into full effect on a chilly evening here at Adamstown Oval. The first game here since around 8 for Adamstown. Paragili, great first touch, and she'll send it over the other hand side, inviting Chelsea Lucas on forward. Now it falls to Ordino, back out wide. Lucas has the overlapping run and decides to reset through Kezia White, but the pass didn't find its target, and that's when she's done well to win it and win a throw-in for the home side.
It's a nice ball there by Togo Paragili. You can see her and Chelsea Lucas know what they want. As soon as she gets her leg swinging back, she's going to go in behind to Chelsea Lucas. It was a nice ball there. Marianne Swang working back, as you said, Harry, doing that defensive job of the midfielder.
Yeah, Paragili's such a good distributor of the ball. So good at seeing options in behind or at feet on both hand sides. And now Lake Macquarie will have a free kick in a dangerous territory for Paragili to just loft it into the mix, create some confusion. Larissa Ryan all unmarked at the back post. What can Paragelli dish up here? With a lot of red and green jumpers behind the ball. It's deep to the back stick. Ryan gets a touch and looking to put it back into the mix, but unfortunately doesn't get the right connection. And out for a goal kick. And we've seen a lot of goal kicks early for Adamstown. One thing surely remains the same, and that is they will look to work their way out from the back rather than going long. Macquarie squeezing Adamstown here. They've been forced into a mistake. Kezia White not afraid to shoot from distance. Here's Larissa Ryan. Up against some great pressure from Horgan. Now Veda doing her defensive duties. Ash Veda turning it over. And Holly Vitnell, who's in the starting side this afternoon, has certainly played well, and as has Chelsea Lucas, who certainly had some venom behind that strike.
Yeah, she sure did. She's got a nice piece of that one. I think you can see Adamstown wanting to continue to play out, and Lakes starting to put that pressure on and trying to win the ball as high as they can to look for an opportunity. You can see now, as I've said that, Adamstown play a long ball.
I think it might be the right thing to do. They haven't been able to get out on the last few occasions. And instead, on that occasion, deciding to thump it long. And a chance for Adamstown now to camp Lake Macquarie deep in their half. Lucas dropping it back. Kezia White driving forward. Picked off. Here's Netswain. Losing defenders this way and that, as she has done all season. Here's Horgan. Again, no options in behind for Adamstown. Tanya Jones seeming to present at feet.
Yeah, that's probably something they're going to have to talk about at half-time. Just that final pass. You can see Adamstown aren't really on the same page. And if Tanya's going to struggle with that knee, maybe a substitution at half-time might be a better option for Adamstown, given that they need to win this game today.
Certainly could. Here's Chelsea Lucas looking to get across the way, and it deflects off Sarah Knowles and out for a throw-in. Be interesting to see if Jones can carry on in the second half. They'd lose that threat up top if she was to be replaced. But certainly with the final rounds approaching and nearly every game like a grand final for Adamstown, I'm sure they wouldn't want to take too many risks with their star striker. There's Cook now. Has that one gone out of play? Referee says no. And the throw-in will go the way of Adamstown, despite some shouts from Lake Macquarie. And talking about Lake Macquarie, there's a fair few fans in the crowd today for a cold afternoon. Lots of Lake Macquarie jumpers, as well as the home faithful from the Buds. Lovely turn there. Bainsfair looking out wide. It's a lovely pass, inviting Chelsea Lucas forward. Lucas with options in the box, and again, great tracking back from Knowles to prevent the danger. Here's McFadden. Net swing to Cook. Back in field for net swing. She has a little bit of space here to search for options in behind. Veda the target. And again, Lake Macquarie survive that attack for now. Mitchell. That pass picked off. Chelsea Lucas a little bit too high for Lake Macquarie now. It invites Cook forward. Loses her footing, as have multiple plays out there so far this afternoon. And the ball back in Lake Macquarie's court. Ordino up against Hogg on the turn. Does so well. Doesn't have too many options in front of it. Ordino decides to hit on the spin and play Kezia White. Plenty of options out left for Lake Macquarie. Ryan looks over the top. Chelsea Lucas will have to do a lot to track this one in. Play stays in. It's a lovely ball centrally. Ordino, shooting chance potentially And the tracking back of McFadden was just enough to prevent danger. Now it's Adamstown up the other end. Vedder looking to turn on the afterburners. Ash Vedder in field. Jones unable to get it under control. And momentarily I thought Lisha Ryan was through, but her touch just a little bit too wide.
You can see Ash Vedder starting to come inside a little bit more and connect with Tanya in that attack. Obviously her pace is very threatening, so it could possibly be an option for Adamstown to move Ash Vedder into the middle at the top.
Certainly could be. We know it's a great battle between her and Sunny Mitchell, but she did play a little bit of striker in the early parts of the season, Ash Vedder. Certainly could be an option there. Here's Netzwang. Not too many options for her going forward. It's a lovely threaded ball. Cook through on goal. And it wouldn't have mattered because the offside flag was up anyways. But how's the goalkeeping there of Morgan Ross? And in the process, seems to have been caught by Cook.
Yeah, it was brave there by Ross to come out and collect that, and it's just a bit of unfortunate by Mia Cook there. Not intentional at all.
Here, Georgia Hogg just probably describing the start so far that has been for the Buds. A bit slow at times. They've certainly had a few sightings on goal. Sophia Laurie hit the crossbar. Mary Netzwang as well has gone close from the free kick. But overall, still only 1-0, so plenty of time for Adamstown to work their way back into this contest. And good to see Ross back to her feet, so we will get back underway. Hopefully no more injuries from now until the half-time whistle. So now Bainsfair dropping back. Dispossessed by Jones. Tina Jones having to retreat. Here's Laurie. Out to Georgia Hogg. Hogg out wide to Sarah Knowles. And they've certainly still trusting their principals, Adamstown. Here's Cook. This is a better passage from the Buds. And Sophia Laurie will find herself with a lot of space out on the right. And Sunny Mitchell tracking back, doing her defensive duties well. But the play is still well and truly alive in the corner. And Lakes, they've done well to play out of that one. Cheered on by the travelling fans as well to boost. And now they're looking across the far side. Here's Lucas. Looking for Bainsfair, who could nearly got it under control, but still might. Onside, chance for two. And she puts it well right off the right post. Kira Bainsfair looking for a brace. And chances don't come much better than that, Cass.
No, they don't. That was a good chance there by Lakes. I think Adamstown won't be very happy with giving the ball away in those crucial areas. You can just see how far away Adamstown are from the front to their midfield. She's not going to help them in attack.
Half-time, you could probably say couldn't come quick enough for Adamstown, just to change things up a little bit and hopefully inject some fresh legs, you'd presume. Still time though in this first half. If you're just joining us here on the Northern New South Wales Football YouTube channel, Kira Bainsfair, the goals. Only goals so far in this one, and it is the difference in what is such a crucial clash in the race for finals football. And it's St Macquarie who are turning up the heat so far. Here's Ordino playing it across to Chelsea Lucas, who had the overlapping run of Brooks out on the right. Now it's Adamstown's turn with the ball. Ash Vedder, the target in behind, will find its way out to Cook. Cook to Knowles. Lakes happy to sit off without the ball. Adamstown Using the width now, McFadden. Hayes back to McFadden. And it's a lovely ball centrally to Jones, who, well, I think that was maybe a pass in behind, maybe searching for a runner. Just a little bit too much power behind it. Scored a cracker last week. She got a brace in the 3-0 win over Magic. Her second goal, certainly the pick of the lot from range. This now finds its way out left. Ryan has Mitchell on the overlap. Mitchell looking in behind, Sneddon coming out of her box, or Dino might get there. And her touch was a little bit too heavy. And Olivia Sneddon did enough just to come and clear. So experience between the sticks for Adamstown. Picked up their first clean sheet last week, which she would have been over the moon about. There's now Hayes. Jones presenting deep. Again, it's turned over by Adamstown. Paragilli out wide. Lucas, Baines fair. Chelsea Lucas now forced a little bit wider than she would have liked. Looking for a cross, and Knowles does well to see it out, but only at the cost of a throw-in.
This is a crucial time for Adamstown. Not long to go in the first half. They need to try and hold Lakes out, get to that half time and regroup and go again in the second half. They've got to be extremely disciplined here.
Can they hold off before the break? Well, that will certainly help their cause. Offside flag raised there against Lily Brooks. And Martin Slade, who hasn't been too loud like we've seen in previous weeks, has been pretty calm and reserved so far to start this one. Could we see them peg something back before the break? They have struggled to play out of their own half. There's Ash Vader now showing a huge amount of aggression up against Ryan. And the final touch off Ryan. Nothing given from the referee, so it'll be a Adamstown throw-in. Is she the player to just spark things amongst Adamstown though, Cass? We've seen her make a few challenges down this right-hand side just to give that Adamstown team a little bit of a lift.
Yeah, I think so. She's an aggressive player, and as we said before, she's got speed, so I think she can definitely spark something for Adamstown. But they just need to get her higher up the field. They need to get either Lainey McFadden or Evie Horgan higher in attack as well, next to Marianne Swing, and possibly even push her higher to try and get some more numbers in attack rather than just one out.
Thanks for losing her footing, and last touch was deemed to be off a Lakes player. Adamstown in a hurry to get things going. Jones, it's a lovely ball. Certainly the right idea to pick out Cook on the far side, and that one will roll past everyone. And now to Sonny Mitchell, who sends it forward for Dino. Not too many Lakes jumpers there in support up against Hayes. Dino in field. Sonny Mitchell joining the attack. Mitchell inside of Horgan, and it's a crucial challenge at the death from Evie Horgan, a vital touch, and it will be a Lakes corner, but it's great defending there from Horgan.
And a good run by Sonny Mitchell. Dino breaking out wide, and Sonny Mitchell making an inside run. Looked extremely dangerous in that situation.
Well, you mentioned it, Cass, the importance of not letting this lead blow out before half-time. Adamstown will have to defend this set piece, which is going to be taken by Kezia White. Plenty of tall timber in there for Lakes, and cleared away again by Horgan. Another corner coming the way of the visitors. Kezia White looking for the tall timber. Parageli's decided to stay back. Sonny Mitchell, they're going to work this short. Drops it back. White driven low into the box. Dino on the turn. Bainsfair going for goal. And into the hands of Sneddon. Again, that short corner routine does catch teams off guard at times. As here go the Budge. Jones driving forward. Shouts for a free kick from the Adamstown side, nothing given. And it's starting to open up this game as we approach half-time. Ryan cutting in, looking to fashion a shot, and into the hands of Olivia Sneddon.
You can definitely start to see things opening up now. As I said before, you can see how close Ash Vedder is with Tanya Jones. And then when Lakes win the ball, they're doing the same thing up the other end. Wessa Ryan starting to get more time on the ball, and we've obviously seen a few shots from Kira Bainsfair as well, looking dangerous.
I'm sure Adamstown wouldn't mind the score remaining at 1-0 heading into the break. Certainly makes for an exciting second half. But we've seen teams this season just not able to hold on before the break. They're doing well so far as Jones penalised there. No card given. Sparaghelli now. Pass doesn't hit the mark. Vedder couldn't get it under control. Ordino. Larissa Ryan looking at White to keep it in. Ryan cutting inside against Laurie. Infield. And a lovely pass for Lily Brooks out on the right-hand side. And unfortunately, it just couldn't keep it in play. McMahon sends it back into the mix. Adamstown just struggling to clear their lines when speeding around the box. Sneddon deciding to thump along this time. That's not a bad ball for Vedder, who has found life a little bit tricky up against Sonny Mitchell so far in this contest. Two energetic players going at it. That swing, heavy touch. And Lakes will go all the way back to Morgan Ross. He will certainly be impressed with his first half so far, as Lakes close in on their first clean sheet of the season. Shall the score remain as it is? Do Adamstown have something to give before the break? Here's Vedder. Jones presenting him behind again. The slipping coming into full effect here at Adamstown Oval. It's certainly caused havoc in this first half, Cass.
Yeah, it has. Tanya Jones just lost her foot in there, and it looked like a possible chance for Adamstown.
Here they go on the front foot. Vedder unable to connect with Jones. And you would not be surprised at all if Jones is replaced at half-time. She seems to be heavily struggling up top for the Buds. As here is Sonny Mitchell looking to switch it on the opposite flank. And that one will take some tracking back from Brooks to keep it in. And it does run over the line for a throw in the way of the home side, who don't have too long remaining before the break to try and spark and get themselves back on level term. Here's net swing to Cook. Jones now, touch a bit too heavy. Sparaghelli alert to the danger. Now Laurie, plenty of space for her to drive just over the halfway line. Laurie to Vedder. Vedder bringing it to control nicely. The 1-2, searching for Laurie, who's gone forward a lot of times in this first half, and Sparaghelli just clears it out of harm's way for now, right in front of the Adamstown coaching staff bench. A few dark clouds coming across here at Adamstown Oval as well. Hopefully no rain as we approach the second half. As here go Lakes. It's a 4-on-2. Bainsfair slipping it through, and the offside flag stays down. Ordino, she's through on goal, and the offside flag just raised at the vital moment. I'm certainly not liking this weather to the left of us. It's coming across dark.
Yeah, not looking good out there. Hopefully we don't see any rain, because I don't think the pitch will hold up if there's a downpour. It's already very slippery.
Exactly, that would certainly make it tricky. We'll keep an eye on that as Jones now. That's a strong challenge there. Tanya Jones straight back to her feet. Thought she might have felt the full pain of that. There's now Knowles looking for Cook to go in behind. Mick now with seconds, potentially minutes until this half-time whistle is blown. You can see how tightly Lakes are marking Mary Netswang, and she might have a bit more of responsibility in this second half, Cassie, if Jones is to be taken off.
Yeah, I think she will. Got to try and, or Adamstown have to try and get Mary Ann Swing a little bit higher, connecting to Tanya Jones or whoever may go there.
They've pinched back possession here. Bainsfair looking for Ordino, as they have done those two throughout this contest. Bainsfair continuing her run, but it's cleared by Hayes. And a lovely dummy as well from Laurie to potentially spark something for Adamstown before the break. Here's Cook. Net swing to Laurie. Horgan to Vetta, who can use the sideline to her advantage. Decides to cut back in field. And her final touch will roll into the arms of Morgan Ross, who will be pretty satisfied with that first 45. Still time remaining in this first half. Lucia Ryan. Bounce favours into her path, and the final touch did come off. Larissa Ryan out for an Adamstown throw-in. Well, we've certainly had moments in this first half. Adamstown have come close to hitting back, but it's just been Lakes who have took the chance and have found themselves ahead. Paragilli looking for something right before half-time. It's an inviting cross, still alive in the box. McFadden struggling to clear the lines. Lakes jumpers everywhere looking to win the ball back, and eventually cleared by Horgan. No whistle yet from the referee, so we will continue. Chelsea Lucas up against Knowles. Lucas drifting in field. Ordino robbed by Netswang. And that is all she wrote in this first 45. Kira Bainsfair's early goal in this one is the difference. And Adamstown with plenty of work to do in the second 45. Cass, where does the spark come from if they are to overturn this deficit?
Yeah, I think Adamstown need to try and work themselves up the field a little bit more. You can see that their back line and their two defensive midfielders are so deep. Obviously, they're a team that want to try and play out from the back, but I think at times you do need to take a bit of a risk and start to push numbers on. I don't think we've really seen Sarah Knowles get too high. Normally she's an overlapping fullback, but I think Chelsea Lucas is kind of keeping her backing in her back line. You can see Sophia Laurie's pushing on, but I think it needs to work both sides. Marianne Swing has to get higher and start connecting to the front three. But again, it's hard if Lake's going to keep pressing on it and pushing numbers forward. So I feel like the game will continue to open up and we'll start to see a lot of transition moments in the second half.
Well, a huge second 45 to come in the race for finals football. Reminder, you can catch it all live and free on the Northern New South Wales YouTube channel. But at the break, it's Adamstown 0, Lake Macquarie 1.
Anyone can sell you a car, but at Cardiff Motor Group, you'll experience the car difference. We're a team driven by passion for excellence in both our service and our range of new and pre-owned vehicles. We listen to what you need and work within your budget to get you behind the wheel of a car you love. Call into our showroom or take a look online and experience the car difference with Cardiff Motor Group.
Visit the team at Cardiff Volkswagen and view the fantastic range of new and demonstrator vehicles, with all-weather on-site undercover parking available 7 days a week. View the award-winning Amarok range, Caddy, Transporter, Crafter and all-new electric ID Buzz. You'll be sure to find a great deal on your next vehicle. Experience the car difference with instant on-site finance quotes, genuine parts and accessories, factory-trained workshop technicians and locals supporting locals with service with a smile. All in one place. Call into our showroom for a coffee and a chat or take a look online. Cardiff Volkswagen, 2 Sturt Road, Cardiff, part of the Cardiff Motor Group.
Anyone can sell you a car, but at Cardiff Motor Group, you'll experience the car difference. We're a team driven by passion for excellence in both our service and our range of new and pre-owned vehicles. We listen to what you need and work within your budget to get you behind the wheel of a car you love. Call into our showroom or take a look online and experience the car difference with Cardiff Motor Group.
team at Cardiff Volkswagen and view the fantastic range of new and demonstrated vehicles with all-weather on-site undercover parking available 7 days a week. View the award-winning Amarok range, Caddy, Transporter, Crafter and all-new electric ID Buzz. You'll be sure to find a great deal on your next vehicle. Experience the car difference with instant on-site finance quotes, genuine parts and accessories, factory-trained workshop technicians and locals supporting locals with service with a smile. All in one place. Call into our showroom for a coffee and a chat or take a look online. Cardiff Volkswagen, 2 Sturt Road, Cardiff, part of the Cardiff Motor Group.
Welcome back to Adamstown Oval for the round 16 of the Cardiff Motor Group NPL Women's Northern New South Wales, and as we presumed, the rain has come. It's not as bad as maybe potentially it will get throughout the night. Nonetheless, Macquarie heading to the second half. ahead 1-0 thanks to a goal from Kira Baines-Fancast. We spoke before the break about how Adamstown are going to work back into this contest, but this field, more importantly, should be one of the main talking points because it's caused a lot of difficulty in the first half. I just wonder what trouble it's going to play in the second.
Yeah, I think with that little bit of rain we can see coming down, it's going to be a challenging second half for both teams, just given the conditions. So they're going to have to play smart. Maybe you might see Adamstown start to go a little bit more direct and not playing it into the midfield, into tight areas. We're trying to get the ball as high as they can, as quick as possible.
Slang Macquarie with some early good territory with the ball. Whitnell trying to work free for a shot. Only a light drizzle for now here at Adamstown Oval. Hopefully doesn't get much worse as the second half progresses. As we see both teams just trying to get warm early in this second half. Bit of a skim as well. Certainly makes for hopefully some more attacking shots in this second half, testing out both keepers from range. So here's Lily Brooks in field. Baines-Fair, the goal scorer in the first half, the difference so far has earned her side a corner into the early stage of this first half. And just a change that has been secured at the break. We'll get back to that in a sec as Paragilly deep to the back stick. And Millie sailed into the top left-hand corner. They love those short corners, do Lakes. Getting back to the substitution, Emily Loader-Weston has been introduced into the contest. So some more speed injected up top for Lakes. Out onto the left-hand side, being replaced by Larissa Ryan, who was quite handy in that first 45. Only 45 in the legs for her as Adamstown will work this out from the back. So Tanya Jones still out there for the Buds as well. It's unchanged from what I can see from Martin Slade's side. Certainly the wet weather jackets come on for Martin Slade, as has for a lot of people here in attendance this evening. As Loader-Weston wasting no time in getting in on the action, trying to flip it forward. Gets it back on the follow-up. Baines-Fair to Mitchell. And that one sent forward. Still alive for Lakes. Loader-Weston will go for goal. And that one will sail into the hands of Snedden. And Adamstown just haven't been able to get their foot on the ball early into this second half. Jones seems to have carried on from that injury that she sustained in the first 45. We'll have to keep an eye on her as this half progresses though, Cass, because she certainly was feeling it in the first half. There's now a ball over the top, searching for Cook, and that skim will just fall into the hands of Morgan Ross. How much longer do you think Tanya Jones can last out there on the field?
Yeah, it's a tough one. Obviously, you want her out on the field due to how aggressive she is, but I think that's kind of been taken away from her with that niggle she's got on her knee, and she's probably not able to play the way that she normally plays. You can see she's a bit hesitant, and I'm not sure it would be worth risking a potential longer injury. And Adamstown, this is a must-win game for them, and they need all the players out there to be 100% fitness.
Certainly do. Her 8th season at the club. Tanya Jones, one of those who have been there from the very start. And like you said, for Adamstown, they picked up a bit of form as of late, but this game again, another crucial one in their hunt for finals football. And just talking about finals football, it was announced last week by Northern New South Wales the venues. So back at Darling Street for the men's and the women's. The women's to take place on Saturday the 12th of September before the men's on the Sunday And I suppose it makes sense, Cass, with the facilities there at Darling Street.
Yeah, it does. It's always been great to play at Darling Street, given the new facilities. And I know that Newcastle Olympic always get their field ready to go for finals. But it's obviously a tough choice. There's plenty of good venues around and good fields as well, which is obviously the number one priority, is to play on a good pitch in your final series. So, yeah, it's great to see that Olympic are getting that opportunity again.
It's always an exciting time of the season, the finals football. We were blessed with great weather last year for the NPL men's and women's grand finals at Darling Street, held across 2 days in sunny weather. Not so sunny here though, as Lake Macquarie have a free kick just over halfway, which Paragilli will send forward potentially, or maybe it'll be McMahon to stand over it. The two of them just in discussion. McMahon sends it in. It's cleared by Horgan, still alive. Great challenge there coming through in the back. Now Brooks sending it forward and needs a deflection, only at the cost of another corner the way of Lake Macquarie. Let's keep an eye on whether they will utilise the short corner.
Yeah, it's interesting with the short corners when you've got Paragilli, who's got an excellent delivery. I'd probably be trying to get that in the mixer and try and look for an opportunity.
Looks like they'll send this one forward, as you mentioned, Cass. And a tricky angle for a left footer to swing it in. It's not a bad ball. Can't beat the first defender. And out for back-to-back corners.
Yeah, it does look difficult down in that corner, Harry. The fence is so close. And given the conditions, it could be a reason why they have gone for the short corner majority of the time.
Paragilli on the follow-up. This one's got much more height about it. And a few Lake Macquarie jumpers there at the back stick contesting for the ball. Last touch, though, off low to Weston. And it was a dangerous set piece there, again delivered by Paragilli. Now Adamstown with Sophia Laurie. Worked out of that situation nice, but the tracking back of low to Weston just had too much speed there for Adamstown's captain. Women's State Cup as well to come in a few weeks' time. Always an exciting part of the season. There's so much football between now, not only in the Cardiff Motor Group NPL Women's Northern New South Wales, but also the State Cup, which I'm sure you and the Golden Eagles have an eye on as well.
Yeah, I think it's a good opportunity to play some more games. Obviously this season we've had is quite stop-start, given the bye rounds or washout rounds, the long weekends and things like that. So it has been a little bit of a stop-start season for teams. So I think it's a good opportunity.
As that one spilled, sorry, Cass, nearly turned home for Lake Macquarie.
Yeah, good opportunity to get some game time, and obviously for those players that do have niggles, it's also a good opportunity for them to have a rest and look after their bodies with the last few rounds and then finals.
Those fixtures to be announced early this week, potentially tomorrow as well, ahead of the Women's State Cup. And no action from the Cardiff Motor Group NPL Women's after this round for about 2 or 3 weeks. All focus turns to the State Cup as the throw-in goes away of Lake Macquarie. A bit of frustration creeping in for Adamstown, who just haven't been able to get their foot in the game.
No, they haven't. We haven't seen a whole lot from Adamstown in attack this half. We spoke about it at half-time that they needed to start pushing players higher and starting to threaten Lake Macquarie's defence.
They might do on this occasion. Jones sent forward, has net swing in support, and Jones nearly picking out the top left corner. We've seen a few shots like that today. Just sail high in the air, but that one just out of the reach of Morgan Ross, but it's a chance.
Yeah, they'll take confidence with that chance, and you'd think that Adamstown would continue to be aggressive now with the ball up the other end and try and win it back and create some more chances.
Morgan Ross sending it out wide to McMahon. Chelsea Lucas presenting. She was a threat in that first 45 as well for Lakes. Here she's on the ball. Into Bainsfair. Lakes working this play nicely. That pass a little bit too heavy, inviting Ordino on forward. Good to see the rain's only staying at a drizzle for now. Hopefully nothing more than what we are seeing. There's now Vedder. Interesting to see how long Ash Vedder stays on the field. Has been a regular in this Adamstown starting side. It certainly can be a game changer, as we discussed in that first half, to flip the script for the Buds, and they're certainly going to need it. It's now Vitnell, unable to get away. Now Vedder. Paragelli again, so strong in those challenges, now inviting teammates on forward. She realises the pass outright is open in Lucas. Lucas up against Knowles, looking to get a side of goal. It's a great block, still alive, and the shot coming through. Well, again, Lake Macquarie showing their quality on the break, and unfortunately Bainsfair eyeing a brace, just wasn't able to get the connection there.
Yeah, still a good opportunity for Lake Macquarie. Obviously Chelsea Lucas is very dangerous down that right-hand side, and Kira Bainsfair and her linking up very well together.
Seen a few plays combine well for Lake Macquarie. As Netswang senses the danger in behind. The bounce nicely to Laurie. Under pressure though from Loda Weston, who's wasted no time getting herself involved in the action.
You can see how quickly Emily Loda Weston can get back. With her speed, she's able to chase Sophia Laurie down, who was quite a threat in that first half, with Ash Vedder on that right-hand side, and potentially that was a tactical change by the Lake Macquarie staff to bring on Emily Loda Weston to track Sophia Laurie and cut her out of the game.
Slip through. Jones finding it tricky. She rides the challenge, plays it across the face of goal, and the skim favours the Buds, still alive in the box and eventually cleared. Well, it looked for all money like Lakes were going to get it out of harm's way, and that skim just coming into full effect early into the second half. A golden opportunity there for Adamstown.
Yeah, it was a golden opportunity. Mia Cook was a bit disappointed. She couldn't get anything on that.
They've certainly had a few more chances on goal, Adamstown, and he sense if they get one, they could certainly go on and make a game of this. I'm sure both sides won't be satisfied with a point. It's now Loda Weston looking to inject some speed up against a player who is quite similar to her in Ash Vedder. Here is Loda Weston, trying to slip it through for the run of Vitnell, but that one will fall into Snedden. So they've generally been low-scoring games when these two sides have met. Played already twice this season. Once at Macquarie Field, once at Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility, both ending in 2-1 wins to Lake Macquarie. So there's just something about this clash that is always so tight. Adamstown, though, the team chasing the game. Now McFadden for Tanya Jones. That pass could have been worse there from McMahon. Still finds the centre back in Paragilli. Now possession given away by Morgan Ross. Adamstown unable to pounce. Now I'd invite Sonny Mitchell on forward to start an attack. Snedden playing it centrally. Horgan, it's an inviting ball over the top. Tanya Jones, the target in behind. Paragilli doing well just to sense the danger. It was always going to be a great battle between those two this evening, Cass, but I think just the way Tanya Jones is moving around the pitch, Paragilli's had the better of her so far.
Yeah, I think she has, and she's a smart player, and she would know that Tanya's running game isn't going to be her strength. So she's ensuring that she's sticking tight to her.
Here's a chance. Lily Brooks delivering. Can't beat Evie Horgan. Alive for Kezia White. Kezia White's pass, though, doesn't hit its mark. And now a chance for the Barge Jones, trying to reach a teammate, and you can well and truly see the way this pitch is holding up. Now slip through. Chelsea Lucas. Offside flag stays down. And great hands from Snedden. The run at the back stick as well by Ordino. She managed to slip as well. That one beats Laurie, but it'll fall into the hands of Olivia Snedden. He's seen a lot of the ball. Probably up the wrong end of the field that she would like. Adamstown looking for a sniff. Here's Cook. Back to Hogg. Adamstown a bit more patient on the ball now. You can see Lake Macquarie very tight without the ball. Here's Vetter. Over the top for Jones, it beats Paragilli and falls to Tanya Jones. She just can't seem to find an opening across both of these halves, Cash. Just finding life a little bit difficult at the minute.
Yeah, she definitely is, and there's not a whole lot of support up there either. I think Sonny Mitchell's done a great job on Ash Vetter and keeping her with her back to goal and passing the ball backwards. So I think Sonny Mitchell has really kept Ash Vetter quiet.
Now Loda Weston looking to turn on the afterburners, gets inside of Hayes. Loda Weston and nearly finds the bottom corner. That one just wide of the post, but again, her speed so dangerous in and behind.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity there for Emily Loda Weston. As she said, that speed is getting her in behind, and it's a good opportunity for Lakes to go up 2-0.
Shouts for a handball there. That's what the referee gives against Cook. And it's just been a cagey affair, likewise the first half here at Adamstown Oval. Lake Macquarie 1 goal to the good. Hasn't been too many clear-cut chances since that opening goal in the first half. Paragilli sending it forward. The last touch come off Cook and shielded over the sideline by Lily Brooks. Brooks straight away getting the ball forward. Beats the challenge of Knowles. Brooks sends it across the face of goal. Snedden can't came. Still alive. Vintnell takes a strike. And a vital second save. It will be a Lake Macquarie corner. But again, Olivia Snedden keeping the Buds in the game.
Yeah, definitely. That was a good save there by Olivia Snedden. Obviously that slippery pitch is starting to come out. You can see spilling the ball first, players slipping over. But she'll be happy with that save.
Levine Ackland being prepared for Lake Macquarie in the next stoppage of play. All eyes are on this corner though. As it's sent into the front stick, Loda Weston skims past her. Kezia White dropping it back. Paragilli on her less favoured foot. Well, that would have been some goal. Kezia White, who would have had the assist, scored a screamer last week, and that was some strike there from Paragilli.
Yeah, it was a very good strike on her right foot as well. Thought it would have kept going up, and Olivia Snedden did a good job.
Adamstown just a little bit loose with the ball, And sent across the face of goal by Ordino. It'll be another corner the way of Lake Macquarie, who, it's fair to say, Cass have had the better of this second half period.
Yeah, they definitely have. They've had more possession, more chances. The ball is in Adamstown's half.
So that change will take place now. It'll be Ackland to come on the field. And I believe Lily Brooks to depart. So a like-for-like replacement there. Ackland will sit deep for now as the corner's about to take place. Not too much space for Paragilly to deliver. Again, it's another inviting corner. Jones gets the first head up. Still alive, will find its way to the back stick. And losing her footing was Bainsfair, who certainly had a few chances to find the back of the net after bagging the first goal that separates the two sides. But Adamstown having to absorb a lot of pressure here. They are under the pump to start this second half. Kezia White spins free of a few challenges. Sunny Mitchell, space in front of her. And she might go herself here, Mitchell. It falls to Ordino. Kezia White now. Loda Weston. The offside flag stayed down for Emily Loda Weston and sent forward. Hog clears and doing so well. And there's a knee potentially to the head there from Loda Weston up against Sophia Laurie. So we will potentially need a physio here. It'll be also a yellow card, the first of this game so far. And that goes the way of Loda Weston.
Yeah, it's unfortunate there's no intention in that. Sophia Laurie heading the ball and just an unfortunate collection there.
So Tanya Jones has left the field. Minnie Granger, who just played the reserve grade fixture, comes on in place of her. And it's unfortunate for Tanya Jones. We'll see throughout the week what the extent of that knock she's carrying and whether it will play further effect into Adamstown's season moving forward. But Minnie Granger now shifting to the left. Certainly feeling the cold after just being introduced. And Ash Vedder look like she'll go to the number 9 position with Cook out on the right-hand side. So it's a different look Adamstown attack. Doesn't come as much of a surprise that Jones has departed the field. It's now Loda Weston down the left-hand side for Lake Macquarie. Cuts inside, moving this way and that. Unable to wriggle free of Horgan, still alive. Ordino. She's able to manifest across, but it falls to Olivia Snedden. And this game slowly opening up end to end. As we saw towards the back end of the first half, Adamstown certainly need to find a spark from somewhere, Cass.
Yeah, they do. I think it's a pretty tough ask for Minnie Granger, playing, as you said, Harry, in reserve grade. Not sure on how many minutes she did have, but it is tough to come on, and especially once you've cooled down, you've warmed up, you've cooled down, it is going to be tough. I probably would have thought Sophie Cook would have been that first change. But Adamstown are going to have to find a second gear and really take it to Lakes.
They certainly have the speed in behind. Here go the two speedsters in Granger and Vedder. Morgan Ross was caught in no man's land. Thankfully, her defence doing the job, as they have done all evening here at Adamstown Oval. If you're just joining us on the Northern New South Wales Football YouTube channel, it's the only goal in the first half to Kira Bainsfair that separates the sides. hopefully we get a little bit more action. Chelsea Lucas going on forward up against Hayes. Is able to get a strike away, but Sneddon, who's come to Adamstown's rescue so much this season, does so again.
Yeah, you could just see that surface getting worse and worse, Harry. Georgia Hogg falling over. And Blake Macquarie getting an opportunity.
Sneddon, I think that was more of a clearance, finds its way to Knowles. Adamstown certainly shift the ball nicely, but just looking for something in behind, as they have done here. Laurie, who's probably another one of their attacking sparks, overlapping from right fullback. Mitchell out wide to Loda Western. This is where there have been dangerous lakes. Ordino on the spin. Nearly gets free of the challenge of Hogg. Lakes just doing what is needed so far. It'll be a huge 3 points if they were able to hold on. And also their first clean sheet if things remain the way they are. And they've had a few free kicks in this sort of position. This time Kezia White standing over it. She'll thump it into the box. An intervention from Horgan. Net swing now looking for Granger, the substitute. He wasn't on the same wavelength. Now net swing. Thumping it forward and it hits the head of Vitnall. She's back to her feet though. That one's certainly big tough to take in the cold weather. Hayes is able to clear, invites Cook on forward, but again, I don't think too many players are going to beat the speed of Loda Western, even though she's playing more advanced for Lake Macquarie. She's been clipped late there from Cook, and it will be a free kick. Another one for Lake Macquarie. They'll be looking to get this one in and behind the defence. With the left foot of Paragelli, looking to further extend Lake Macquarie's lead. It's high in the air, more to the front stick, cleared away by Laurie. Kezia White picking up the scraps, feeding it to Loda Western. Baines Fair. Kezia White looked for that extra pass to Chelsea Lucas. Adamstown just absorbing the pressure for now. Certainly still in this contest at 1-0. Here is Loda Western down the left-hand side, looking for that right foot. Just the final product has been lacking for both sides. It's now great strength shown there from Vitnall. Now net swing, again searching for options. He just hasn't had the targets to search for him behind Mary Netswing. Now it's Ackland, the substitute for Lake Macquarie. One of two changes they've made so far in the second half. That was a nice passage of play. Picked off though by Adamstown. Granger now asking probably a little bit too much of Vedder, who's showing some signs of limping as well. A few substitutes swarming up for Adamstown.
I'm just not sure Adamstown are going to have the legs, Harry. They've already made a substitution who has played minutes. We just saw Ash Vedder limping as well.
Ordino in the box.
And the camp so far in their own half with not much outlet.
Certainly is tricky for a side with not too much depth as well, as Lucas coming flying through an opposite number in Knowles. So much a youthful approach, you could say, from Martin Slade in terms of this bench for Adamstown. Sometimes can be the difference, but those who are introduced certainly got a big task on their hands if Adamstown are to grab something from this game. Just searching for a spark in behind. Here's McFadden out wide. Now to Cook, who's left. A Lakes player behind, and Adamstown continue their attack. Here's Netswang. Final touch around McMahon. Netswang doing well to win possession back and dinking it to the back post. And she's the spark that we said before half-time would try and carry Adamstown on their back, but she just didn't have the options at the back post there.
No, she didn't, but a good run by Marianne Swang and a nice little turn to get across into the box. But yeah, it's not looking great for Adamstown. They don't have too much in attack. Lakes look very comfortable at the back.
Well, they've gone to their bench. There have the Buds, Ash Vetter, who, as I said, has been out of the side this season. Leaves the field. Marnie Duval coming on in her replacement. So Vetter, who's certainly tried and worked hard as always for the Buds, leaves the field. McFadden. Now to Cook. Cook searching in field. Now Horgan. Spotted the run of Laurie and just couldn't find the connection, as probably has been the case of Adamstown's evening so far. Feel like they need a big moment from somewhere, Cass, whether it's a tackle or a shot on goal to really spark this side.
Yeah, definitely. They need some of their older players to step up and start to drive things. I would even think potentially a formation change. You could see Martin giving some instruction from the sideline. And although Lakes have been the dominant team today, it is only 1-0, and all Adamstown need is a little sniff, potentially a corner, a free kick, or like you said, a player to step up and start to drive this team forward.
He's Mary Netswang. Certainly one of those that could do that. She doesn't have too many options, runs out of ideas. Kezia White pinching it back for Lake Macquarie. And it's fair to say that they've defended pretty well so far in this one, doing their jobs. They are preparing a change, which we will see shortly as well, as the rain slowly continues to pour down here at Adamstown Oval. Slippery surface here, which has seen multiple players go to ground. It's a lovely turn there from Granger, the substitute. And the referee will go back for a shirt pull. It'll be a free kick the way of Adamstown. That's positive, though, from the substitute.
Yeah, that is. It's good to see Minnie Granger get involved in the game. Adamstown need to try and use their front players a little bit more, get the ball forward as quick as they can. And it's a must-win game, and playing pretty football sometimes isn't going to get you results. So you do have to try and be a little bit more direct and start to turn things around, and then you can start to play again.
Well, Chelsea Lucas, who has been, again, so impressive for Lake Macquarie to parts of field. Belle Hewitt coming on. As Adamstown send it forward. Paragelli again coming to Lake Macquarie's rescue, and a shot set back in. Will slide into the hands of Morgan Ross. Another chance on target, though, for the Buzz. Slowly running out of time is Martin Slade's side. Lake Macquarie happy to sit back and defend. I know they'd certainly been fine with a clean sheet as well. Is now sent forward by Netswang. Paragelli clears, and it will find a teammate in Mitchell to boost. That one out of play for a throw-in. And Lake's just happy to not go on the front foot too much, and just happy to observe the lead that they have so far. It's working in their favour nicely. McFadden Here is the substitute in Duval. Kezia White coming across. So impressive last week, has been again today, but her pass can't find low to Western. The surf is certainly playing an impact on both these sides. Now it's Georgia Hogg, Adamstown, looking for something. The coaching staff on their feet, just looking for a spark to potentially change proceedings here. Here's Paragelli, who's probably gone close to being man of the match. As you mentioned, Casa Rock at the back for Lake Macquarie. Here's Hogg. Adamstown, they've fought back on a couple of occasions this season. Can they do the same in the time that remains? They haven't looked as dangerous going forward this evening. You certainly can't count them out yet.
No, you can't. Anything can happen in the last 10 minutes of the game. As we said before, Adamstown could get a lucky free kick, a breakaway. Or it could go the other way and the Lakes could score another goal. These last 10 minutes will be key for both teams.
They've certainly had majority of the ball in this second half, Lakes. Unable to really trouble Olivia Sneddon. And you'd sense from here onwards it would be majority of Adamstown doing all the attacking. Netswang dropping it back to Cook. Again, so many Lake Macquarie jumpers there to clear the danger. Now low to Western, turning on the afterburners. Has Hewitt in behind as well as Ordino. Unable to find either of them. And now sent wide for Cook to chase. Being forced under pressure, and it will be the substitute in Ackland that wins out. Drops it back. Hewitt's first touch. Baines fair. Hewitt looking out wide. And Laurie still doing her business for Adamstown. Such a competitive fullback. Hayes in field, McFadden. Turned over again. Bit of frustration creeping in for Adamstown. And those that have braved the cold to come out and support the Buds here this evening, hoping to carry on from the momentum which saw them pick up their third win of the season last week against Magic. And they just haven't looked the same outfit on their return to Adamstown Oval. Two substitutes being prepared for the Buds, so we'll get to that in the next stoppage of play. Two substitutes who are certainly feeling the cold. It's now a dummy from McMahon. Invites her in field, and the final product, it wasn't a bad idea with runners scheming forward after they unable to get on the end of it. Now it's up the other end. Granger. Cook. And Sophie Cook is one of those being prepared for Adamstown. Here they go on the front foot now. That's better now. They'll get a throw in, and I think this is the first time they've actually had the ball deep into attacking territory, Cass.
Yeah, it's probably only been a couple of times, but this one's an opportunity to potentially get a delivery into the box and start to cause Morgan Ross some problems in the last 5 or so minutes. Hasn't really been tested tonight.
More fresh legs injected. Sophie Cook and Lila Walker being introduced into the contest. Can that be a spark for the Buds? Noel sends it forward. The skim nearly troubled Morgan Ross, but she's been as comfortable as ever this evening between the sticks for Lake Macquarie. Now sent forward, Loda Weston keeps it in, and she goes to work after the ricochet found her. Now it's Kezia White using her strength well. She's been very handy in the midfield for Lake Macquarie, Cass.
Yeah, she has had a good game today. I think she's just done her job. She's been consistent with her passing, and she's won a lot of challenges in that midfield. And Marianne Swang's been quiet today, and I think that goes down to Keziah White's performance, and she stayed on her and not let her get opportunities to pass or to dribble. So I think she's had a great game, her and Kira Bainsford, both in the midfield there for Lakes.
They have been incredible, certainly in marking some of Adamstown's key players in net swing, most notably. There's now Ackland. Sending it across, doesn't hit its intended target. Now Cook releasing Laurie. Net swing. And Adamstown unhappy with that challenge. You can see the umbrellas come off on the far side of one of those fans, you'd assume, judging by that reaction. And it will be a Lake Macquarie free kick. And Paragelli there, you just saw go forward into an attacking position. Now Mitchell slipping it through. Hewitt has found herself in behind. And now it's time for Adamstown to get the ball up the other end. Sneddon, though, unable to find a target. Adamstown running out of time here in the Cardiff Motor Group NPL Women's Northern New South Wales round 16. Bainsfair on the spin, invites Loda Weston forward. Hayes tracking her. Now a little dummy from Bainsfair into the box. And it will be another corner the way of Lake Macquarie. Another chance to potentially all but seal things. A few plays potentially cramping up. Is now this corner sent in. It's not a bad delivery. And now Adamstown, it's their turn to break now. It'll be net swing, urged on by all their supporters. Sent forward again, can't find a target. Martin Slade, he's on his feet. He's more animated in the second half than he was in the first. Just knowing how vital this game is for the Buds. Cook, it's a net swing. Net swing, gliding this way and that, sending it out wide. Options in the box, and the cross wasn't where it was intended to be, but the offside flag was raised either way. And that's a frustrating end to a positive attack for Adamstown.
Yeah, it was a positive attack, and you can see just Martin's energy on the sideline, pushing his team. They can feel that, they can sense it, and you can see the reaction from them, and maybe that's what they needed more throughout this game, is a little bit of a drive. They are a young team, and sometimes you do need that little bit of a push to get you going, especially in conditions like this.
As we said, we can't count them out just yet, but they just need to sense and find that opportunity, which has been few and far between. Lake Macquarie as well have had some moments on the break. Here's one of them with Ackland. Knowles now, back to Hogg. Hogg thumping it forward. It's a lovely pass to Netswang. Netswang loses the challenge of McMahon, tries to do it herself. It's played in behind, and that one will roll out of play, but this is where you want the ball if you're an Adamstown fan. And a lot of jumpers now making their way behind the ball for Lakes. It's a throw, which finds Netswang. Looks to break through for a shot. She was caught late as well, nothing given. But this is a period where Lakes need to hold on to defend, while for Adamstown, can they capitalise is the question. That's not going to help their attack there. Runs over the byline for a goal kick. And as we tick towards the end of this one, who's impressed you the most if you had to give a man of the match, Cass?
Yeah, I think first half from Kira Bainsfair, definitely. I think Paragilly's been good all game, although hasn't been properly tested due to Adamstown's lack of attack. I think Keziah White's been good as well, and for Adamstown, I think Sophia Laurie's had a good game. She's been consistent. She's got up and down that sideline. She's tackled hard. She's consistent in her passing. So they're the 3-4 for me that I think have done well today. If I had to give it to someone, I'd probably give it to Keziah White.
Yeah, backing up from her winner last week. Just so calm on the ball in the midfield there for Lake Macquarie. She's been a crucial part of what would you say is a new era for Lake Macquarie. Still in the hunt for finals football as well. It'd be great to see them climb that ladder as the season progresses. They'll certainly have a task on their hands away to Broadmeadow Magic next Friday night. Lake Macquarie, well, for Adamstown, they travel to Order Park to face New Lambton next Saturday, and hopefully the weather can stay clear and we can have yet again another uninterrupted weekend, as that one is a goal kick. It looked like it might have been a corner. Mary Netzwing certainly asking the question. And it might be ugly, Cass, but Lake Macquarie just doing what they have to at the minute to just hold on and reserve this lead.
Yeah, definitely. You've got to play a bit of time wasting. It's what everyone does when they're up. And yeah, Adamstown have had a good last 5 minutes, and I think they needed this intensity throughout the whole match. They started to drive things and really start to push forward.
Dino shooting, and Sneddon gets a vital hand, and I'm not sure if that one was sailing into the back of the net. Nonetheless, it did need a touch. And out for another corner, which I'm sure Lakes won't be in too much of a hurry to take. You can see a few instructions from the Lake Macquarie bench. Looks like they're going to work this one long. Still on the hunt for that second, which would all but seal victory, but that one unfortunately can't find its way in the box. Now Netzwing, plenty of space opening up out left, and Knowles has been found perfectly. Knowles, though, can't ride the challenge of Ackland. Netzwing, though, to Knowles, and again, Lake's just getting bodies behind the ball. Happy to sit in and defend for the time that remains. And that is all the time that remains. Full time here at Adamstown Oval, and despite Adamstown on an upward trajectory as of late, they've unfortunately marked their return to Adamstown Oval with a loss. And a lot of credit must go to Lake Macquarie and Mick Hugo for a huge win on the road. We spoke about how vital this would be, Cass, and to be fair, Lakes have come and done the business. Yeah, they have. I think Lakes had a decent game today. Obviously, the conditions have been tough. Adamstown pushed towards the end there, trying to get a result out of the game. But I think, yeah, Lake Macquarie did enough, and it probably could have been a little bit more than one goal. And I think throughout the game, you could see the consistent performance from a number of the Lake Macquarie players, which I think contributed to this win today. Still so much football to be played, so Adamstown, they will return to action next week and hope to return to winning ways under Martin Slade. But for myself, Harry Scobie, thank you, Cass, as always.
Thanks, Harry.
Thanks for your coverage at home. We'll catch you next time on the Northern New South Wales Football YouTube channel. But it finishes here at Adamstown. Lake Macquarie 1, Adamstown Rosebuds 0. Thank you.